How to find happiness in the simple things of life. Many people spend much of their lives in search of something greater, something grand, believing that happiness always lies just beyond their reach, in material possessions or major moments of success. However, teachings from various philosophical and spiritual traditions like Buddhism reveal that true joy can be found in the simple moments and actions of our daily lives. The key to happiness is not found in grand possessions or extraordinary accomplishments, but in our ability to appreciate what is simple, what is around us, and within ourselves. In this video, we aim to share some profound lessons on how to find joy in small things and cultivate genuine, lasting happiness. By the end, we hope you'll feel inspired to look at your life more mindfully and consciously, to notice the many beauties simplicity offers. 1. Appreciating the simple. In the constant search for more, for something that will bring full satisfaction, we often forget to look at what we already have and appreciate what is simple. The fast-paced rhythm of modern life drives us to always want more. More money, more status, more recognition. But does happiness really lie in this constant accumulation of things and achievements? Teachings from various schools of thought, including Buddhism, suggest that it does not. In fact, rather than seeking outside, we need to learn to look within and around us. The small things, like the simple act of watching a sunset, the feeling of a gentle breeze on our face, or even a heartfelt conversation with a friend, have a transformative power when we learn to appreciate them. Living with more attention to the present, without rushing and without the expectation that happiness is always in something grand, helps us find contentment in what is already at our disposal. When we stop and take a deep breath, we can notice how much the simple things have to offer. The freshness of a spring morning, the smell of the earth after rain, or even the taste of food we prepare with care. These moments often go unnoticed, but when appreciated, they become deep sources of joy. 2. The art of mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness is one of the most powerful ways to cultivate happiness. When we talk about mindfulness, we refer to the practice of being fully present in the moment, without being distracted by thoughts of the future or regrets from the past. This ability to live in the now is a pillar of Eastern philosophies, especially Buddhism. Living mindfully means not only noticing the small things in everyday life, but also accepting their impermanence, recognizing that nothing lasts forever. Everything is in constant change, and learning to live with this awareness helps us cultivate inner peace. Being present in the now allows our minds to calm, reducing the anxiety that often plagues us. When we are truly in the moment, whether with a friend, in nature, or in silence, we can find a sense of peace that does not depend on external factors. This type of practice teaches us to slow down, savor each experience, and discover simple yet profound pleasure in what we do. Mindfulness teaches us that happiness is not a distant goal, but a feeling we can experience in each and every moment. 3. Gratitude as a path to happiness. Gratitude is a powerful tool when it comes to cultivating happiness in everyday life. It teaches us to appreciate what we have instead of focusing on what we lack. When we practice gratitude, we begin to see the world through different eyes. What once seemed insignificant, a conversation with a friend, the smile of a stranger, or the peace of a quiet moment, takes on new meaning. Gratitude helps us give proper value to these small things, making our lives richer and more satisfying. No matter how old you are or what stage of life you are in, the practice of giving thanks brings immediate benefits. Science has shown that regularly expressing gratitude increases happiness levels, reducing stress and improving mental health. By thanking the small things, such as the meal of the day, the family we have, or even the opportunities life offers, we can create a positive mindset that opens the door for more moments of contentment. Gratitude also connects us with what is essential in life, reminding us that no matter how tough some moments may be, there is always something to be thankful for. It's a simple but transformative practice that not only improves our well-being, but also strengthens our bonds with others, creating a network of support and care. 4. Less is more. Simplicity as a path to well-being. In a society obsessed with consumption and accumulation, the concept that less is more may seem counterintuitive. However, when we look more closely at the impact excess has on our lives, we realize that true well-being arises when we simplify our needs and desires. The overabundance of possessions, commitments, and distractions ends up overwhelming us and pulling us away from what truly matters. However, by adopting a simpler lifestyle, by detaching from material things and the expectations of success, we create space in our lives for what truly brings peace and happiness. Detachment does not mean rejecting what is good or necessary, but rather learning to appreciate the lightness of what we have, the beauty of life in its most simple form. When we learn to live with less, we create more space for leisure, genuine connection with others, and moments of introspection. Simplicity gives us clarity, removes distractions, and helps us focus on what truly holds value. Deep down, happiness is not about accumulation, but about the ability to appreciate the essential and find peace in what is basic and natural. 5. Cultivating compassion, a path to true joy. In our busy and often self-centered lives, it's easy to forget the power of kindness and compassion. We tend to focus so much on our own desires, goals, and struggles that we miss the opportunity to connect deeply with others. However, one of the most powerful sources of happiness comes from cultivating compassion, both for ourselves and others. Compassion, in its essence, is the ability to feel empathy for another person's pain and extend a hand to help without expecting anything in return. It is a selfless love that brings about healing, not just for the recipient, but for the giver as well. When we practice compassion, we open our hearts to the world around us, creating bonds of trust and mutual respect. This act of connecting with others suffering and offering kindness not only improves relationships, but also nurtures our own sense of fulfillment and peace. It's easy to believe that happiness is something we must achieve for ourselves, but when we direct our attention outward and focus on the well-being of others, our own happiness flourishes in ways we could never imagine. Compassionate actions, no matter how small, help to create a sense of belonging, knowing that we are contributing positively to the world. 6. Embrace the present moment. Living in the present moment is one of the most essential teachings in Buddhism, and it's a practice that can significantly enhance our happiness. Too often we are trapped in the cycle of thinking about the past or worrying about the future, which prevents us from truly experiencing the beauty and joy of the present. The truth is that the present moment is all we really have. When we stop dwelling on past regrets or anxiously anticipating what's to come, we allow ourselves to fully experience life as it unfolds. Embracing the present moment means letting go of judgments and embracing whatever is happening right now with openness and curiosity. This can be as simple as enjoying a warm cup of coffee in the morning or listening to the sound of the wind through the trees. These small moments, often overlooked, become powerful sources of peace when we are truly present with them. Practicing mindfulness, taking a few minutes to focus on our breathing or observing our surroundings, helps us reconnect with the here and now. When we are present, we let go of distractions, and in doing so, we make space for true contentment to arise. 7. The power of silence. In our fast-paced world, silence can seem rare and even uncomfortable. We're often surrounded by constant noise, whether it's the chatter of social media, the hum of technology, or the demands of daily life. Yet, silence holds incredible power. It is in moments of silence that we can hear the whispers of our own heart and connect with our inner wisdom. Silence allows us to slow down, to stop and reflect, and to give ourselves permission to simply be. It is in this stillness that we discover who we truly are, beneath all the distractions. The ability to sit in silence can be a profound practice in finding happiness. Silence doesn't mean emptiness. It is the space in which peace and insight are born. When we embrace silence, we create a sanctuary for our minds to rest, free from the constant noise and clutter. It allows us to reset, to recharge, and to restore our connection with ourselves. In the quiet moments, we can process emotions, gain clarity, and find a sense of direction. The value of silence is that it invites us to be more in touch with our true feelings, our thoughts, and our needs. Taking time for silence throughout the day can have profound effects on our well-being, helping us feel more grounded and connected to the world around us. 8. Nurture relationships that matter. Human connection is one of the most important aspects of happiness. Research has shown that the strength of our relationships has a direct impact on our mental and emotional well-being. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in superficial connections or to lose sight of the importance of quality relationships. However, building and nurturing deep, meaningful connections with those we care about is essential for true happiness. It's not about the number of friends we have or how many social interactions we can accumulate, but about the depth of our bonds. Taking the time to listen to a loved one, offering support when needed, or sharing a laugh with a friend can create lasting moments of joy and connection. Nurturing relationships also means being authentic and vulnerable with others, allowing ourselves to be truly seen and known. These moments of genuine connection foster a sense of belonging and security, which are fundamental to our happiness. Investing in relationships that nourish us emotionally, whether they are with family, friends, or even a partner, creates a foundation for a happier and more fulfilling life. 9. Simplify your mind. Declutter mental space. Just as our physical surroundings can become cluttered, our minds can become overloaded with thoughts, worries, and distractions. Mental clutter can prevent us from finding peace and happiness. It's easy to get bogged down by endless to-do lists, expectations, and fears. But to truly experience joy, we need to simplify our minds and clear out the excess. Practicing mindfulness and meditation can help us reduce mental clutter and create a sense of space in our minds. By focusing on the present moment, we can let go of unnecessary worries and distractions. A clutter-free mind allows us to make decisions with clarity, to react to challenges with calm, and to appreciate the beauty of the present moment. When our minds are cluttered, we miss out on the simple joys of life. Simplifying our thoughts and focusing on what truly matters helps us cultivate a greater sense of peace and happiness. 10. Let go of perfectionism. Perfectionism can be a major barrier to happiness. The desire to be perfect, to have everything go according to plan, and to meet every expectation can cause stress, frustration, and feelings of inadequacy. The truth is that perfection doesn't exist. Life is messy, and trying to maintain an idealized version of it can only lead to disappointment. Learning to embrace imperfections in ourselves, in others, and in life is liberating. By letting go of the need to control every outcome and accepting things as they come, we can find peace in the chaos. Perfectionism often prevents us from appreciating our own growth and achievements because we're too focused on what's lacking. By learning to embrace our flaws and imperfections, we free ourselves from unnecessary pressure and can begin to enjoy life more fully. This acceptance of imperfection leads to greater self-compassion and the ability to experience joy without the constant pursuit of flawlessness. 11. Discover joy in simple acts. Happiness often lies in the simplest of actions. In today's world, we're encouraged to seek joy in extravagant events, expensive possessions, or major achievements. While these things can bring temporary happiness, true, lasting joy often resides in the small everyday moments. These small acts of kindness, care, and presence are what truly fill our hearts with contentment. Whether it's taking a few minutes to enjoy a warm cup of tea, sharing a quiet moment with a loved one, or simply sitting with ourselves in peace, these are the moments that, when given the proper attention, bring us lasting joy. A simple act of kindness, like holding the door open for someone or offering a smile to a stranger, can create a ripple effect that spreads joy throughout the day. These actions are not only good for the recipient, but also nourish the person who gives. The beauty of these simple acts is that they often require very little effort, yet they can leave us feeling more connected and fulfilled. 12. Let go of the need for external validation. We live in a world that often places a great deal of emphasis on external validation. Whether it's the number of likes on a social media post, accolades at work, or compliments from others, many of us seek outside approval to feel validated. However, the search for external validation can be draining and fleeting. The truth is that true happiness comes from within, not from the approval of others. When we look to others for validation, we give away our power and self-worth. Instead, we need to focus on developing internal validation, learning to approve of ourselves and appreciate our own worth without relying on others to tell us we are enough. This shift in perspective helps us cultivate a deep sense of self-love and confidence that is not dependent on outside factors. When we no longer need constant validation, we can act more authentically, pursue our passions and make decisions that align with our true values. The freedom from the need for approval brings peace and empowers us to live a life of integrity. 13. Create space for reflection. In the rush of daily life, it's easy to forget the importance of self-reflection. We're constantly moving from one task to the next, rarely taking the time to pause and reflect on how we're feeling, what we've learned, and where we're headed. Yet, reflection is an essential practice for growth and happiness. By taking time to reflect on our experiences, we gain insight into our behavior, our relationships, and our desires. This self-awareness allows us to make better decisions, understand our needs, and align our actions with our values. Reflection also provides an opportunity to celebrate our progress, acknowledge our achievements, and show gratitude for the journey we've been on. Whether through journaling, meditating, or simply sitting in silence, creating space for reflection helps us cultivate a deeper understanding of ourselves and our path. This practice not only promotes personal growth, but also enhances our overall well-being by helping us to live more intentionally and mindfully. 14. Cultivate patience with yourself and others. Patience is a virtue that is often overlooked in our fast-paced society. We are constantly encouraged to move quickly, achieve more, and keep up with the demands of modern life. However, true happiness comes when we learn to slow down and practice patience. This includes being patient with ourselves and others. When we're patient, we give ourselves the space to make mistakes, learn from them, and grow without the pressure of perfection. We allow ourselves to move through life at our own pace, without constantly comparing ourselves to others or trying to keep up with the expectations of the world. Patience also extends to our relationships. Being patient with others means allowing them to be who they are without trying to change them. It means listening without interrupting, accepting imperfections, and understanding that growth takes time. Patience cultivates peace within and between us, helping us to navigate the ups and downs of life with grace and calm. 15. Nurture your creativity. Creativity is a powerful tool for cultivating happiness. It's not just about artistic expression or creating something beautiful, but about finding ways to express ourselves and connect with the world in unique and meaningful ways. Creativity allows us to tap into our inner resources, to explore new possibilities, and to bring something fresh into our lives. Whether it's through art, music, writing, cooking, or even problem-solving at work, creativity nurtures our spirit and keeps us engaged with life. It allows us to break free from routines, to experiment, and to find new ways of doing things that bring us joy. By nurturing our creativity, we also nurture our well-being. When we create something, we feel a sense of accomplishment, satisfaction, and joy that is deeply fulfilling. Engaging in creative activities is a way of reconnecting with our inner child, the part of us that is curious, playful, and open to new experiences. This kind of expression not only brings us joy, but also helps us process emotions, work through challenges, and develop a deeper sense of self. 16. Embrace change as part of life. Change is inevitable. We all face transitions, losses, and new beginnings throughout our lives. Yet many people resist change, fearing the unknown and the discomfort that often comes with it. However, in order to live a full and happy life, we must learn to embrace change as a natural part of the process. Change allows for growth, transformation, and new opportunities. It pushes us to evolve, adapt, and become more resilient. While it's normal to feel fear or uncertainty when facing change, we can shift our perspective to see it as a chance for renewal. Instead of resisting change, we can learn to welcome it with an open heart, trusting that it will lead us to new experiences and growth. Embracing change brings flexibility and freedom, allowing us to move through life's inevitable ups and downs with grace and strength. 17. Practice acceptance of what you can't control. One of the greatest sources of stress and unhappiness comes from trying to control things that are beyond our power. We often waste a lot of energy trying to control other people, situations, or outcomes. However, the more we try to control, the more frustrated and unhappy we become. The key to finding peace is acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up or being passive. It means recognizing that there are things we cannot change and letting go of the need to control them. When we practice acceptance, we free ourselves from the burden of frustration and resistance. We focus on what we can control, our reactions, attitudes, and choices, and release the rest. This brings peace and serenity as we stop fighting against the natural flow of life. 18. Develop emotional resilience. Emotional resilience is the ability to bounce back from life's challenges, setbacks, and difficulties. It's a key factor in maintaining happiness, as it allows us to face adversity without being overwhelmed by it. Resilience doesn't mean that we are unaffected by tough situations, but rather that we are able to adapt and recover, learning from the experience rather than being consumed by it. The more resilient we become, the better we are at handling stress, managing emotions, and moving forward with strength. Building emotional resilience requires practice, patience, and a willingness to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. It also involves developing a healthy emotional toolkit, such as deep breathing, mindfulness, and self-compassion, to help us navigate life's challenges. As we grow more resilient, we can maintain our peace of mind and joy even in the face of difficulty. 19. Let go of grudges. Holding on to grudges can be a significant source of unhappiness. When we hold on to resentment, anger, or hurt from past events, we carry that emotional weight with us, draining our energy and peace of mind. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful practices for releasing grudges and finding happiness. Letting go of resentment doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior or forgetting what happened. Rather, it's about freeing ourselves from the burden of negative emotions that prevent us from moving forward. By forgiving others and ourselves, we create space for peace, healing, and joy to enter our lives. Forgiveness is a gift we give ourselves, allowing us to live without being shackled by the past. It opens our hearts to love, compassion, and understanding, creating space for true happiness to flourish. 20. Find purpose in every day. Finding purpose doesn't require grand gestures or world-changing achievements. It can be found in the small, everyday actions that align with our values and bring meaning to our lives. Purpose can come from helping others, engaging in work that we find fulfilling, or simply showing up fully for the people we love. When we have a sense of purpose, we feel motivated, energized, and connected to something larger than ourselves. It gives our lives direction and focus, helping us navigate challenges with a sense of meaning. Purpose isn't something we find, it's something we create through our actions and decisions. Each day provides an opportunity to live with intention and to make choices that reflect our deepest values. 21. Accept your imperfections. No one is perfect, and striving for perfection can create a lot of unnecessary stress and frustration. Embracing our imperfections is a crucial step toward happiness. When we accept that we are imperfect beings, we give ourselves the grace to make mistakes, learn from them, and grow. Perfectionism is an unattainable standard that only leads to disappointment, while embracing imperfection allows us to live more authentically and with greater ease. This acceptance of ourselves, flaws and all, is an act of self-love. It helps us to appreciate our unique qualities and the ways in which our imperfections make us who we are. Accepting imperfection doesn't mean we stop trying to improve ourselves. It means we stop holding ourselves to impossible standards and allow ourselves to be human. This shift in mindset brings peace, contentment, and a deeper connection to ourselves. 22. Find joy in giving. There's a profound joy that comes from giving, not just material possessions, but also our time, attention, and love. Generosity is one of the most fulfilling ways to connect with others and experience happiness. When we give, we not only brighten someone else's day, but we also experience a deep sense of fulfillment and joy. Giving can take many forms, from donating money to volunteering our time, to offering a listening ear or a kind word. The act of giving shifts our focus away from what we don't have and reminds us of the abundance that already exists in our lives. Giving fosters a sense of community, compassion, and connection, all of which contribute to happiness. By making giving a regular part of our lives, we create a ripple effect of joy that not only transforms others, but also brings immense satisfaction to ourselves. 23. Nurture your body. Our physical well-being has a direct impact on our mental and emotional health. When we take care of our bodies, we're better able to experience happiness and joy. Nurturing your body means eating nourishing foods, exercising regularly, getting enough rest, and practicing self-care. It's also important to listen to your body and honor its needs. Whether that means taking a break when you're tired, seeking medical attention when necessary, or giving yourself permission to rest and recharge. Physical health and happiness are deeply interconnected, and by taking the time to nurture our bodies, we create a solid foundation for a happy life. A healthy body allows us to engage fully in life, pursue our passions, and enjoy all that life has to offer. 24. Celebrate the small wins. We often wait for big achievements or milestones to celebrate, but happiness is found in the small victories as well. Whether it's completing a task you've been putting off, getting through a challenging week, or simply taking time for yourself, these small wins are worth acknowledging and celebrating. By celebrating small wins, we train our minds to focus on the positive, which helps to boost our overall happiness. These celebrations don't have to be grand or elaborate. Sometimes, simply pausing to appreciate your effort is enough. Celebrating the small wins also encourages a sense of progress and growth, reminding us that happiness is not about achieving a perfect life, but about appreciating the journey. 25. Live with intention. Living with intention means making choices that are aligned with our values and goals. It's about living consciously, rather than letting life pass by without purpose. When we live intentionally, we feel more in control of our lives and our happiness. Every decision we make, from how we spend our time to how we treat others, becomes an opportunity to align with what truly matters. Living with intention creates clarity and focus, helping us to avoid distractions and stay true to what we value most. When we approach life with intention, happiness naturally follows because we are actively creating a life that resonates with our deeper desires.